What if I told you that skipping sex beyond the age of 60 may be secretly reducing your lifetime in addition to having an impact on your romantic life? I'm Dr. Smith, a renowned urologist and authority on men's health with decades of clinical study on intimacy and aging, as well as over 60,000 patient consultations. Most people think that sex is a phase that you leave behind as you become older. However, what if that belief is subtly impairing your immune system, brain, or heart? I'll outline the 10 unexpected repercussions of losing intimacy beyond the age of 60 in this video, along with how regaining it may improve your relationship, confidence, and general well-being. Additionally, don't overlook point number 7. It's the one that no one discusses, yet it could hold the secret to preventing severe disease. Before we begin, I advise you to click the button and activate the bell if you haven't already so you don't miss any further personalized health advice. Put 1 in the comments if you like this video. Otherwise, enter 0 to inform me of how I may improve the material for you. Let's start where the harm initially appears, silently and imperceptibly, within your heart, the organ that sustains your life. 1. The health of your heart is affected. The fact that your heart, not just your feelings, but your physical heart as well, depends on more than simply food and medicine to be healthy as you age may surprise you. Even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, having sex on a regular basis is like doing a little aerobic exercise. It reduces blood pressure, improves blood circulation, and keeps your arteries pliable. Actually, research indicates that older adults who continue to engage in sexual activity often have less heart-related issues. Consistency and connection are more important than frequency or intensity. The body loses one of its most natural means of maintaining vitality when intimacy wanes. The heart may become more vulnerable to stress, inflammation, and chronic illness in the absence of this kind of exercise. Letting go of sexual health might have just as devastating repercussions as neglecting your prescription or your regular stroll. Many elderly people are unaware that physical love, contact, and intimacy are just as beneficial to the heart as rest or exercise. The takeaway is unambiguous: cultivating closeness equates to cultivating your heart. Your body as a whole benefits, not just your heart. What if I told you that, in unexpected ways, giving up sex might also hasten bodily deterioration? 2. Vitality is lost in muscles and joints. Most of us envision walking regimens or gym sessions when we consider maintaining our physical strength as we age. But what if regular sexual activity is one of the most underappreciated strategies to preserve joint flexibility and muscle tone? Multiple muscle groups are naturally engaged, movement is encouraged, and even balance and coordination are enhanced by intimacy. This kind of physical activity may be very useful and fun for elders. Without it, joints stiffen, muscles deteriorate more rapidly, and general mobility begins to deteriorate. It's a subtle change that you may not notice at first, but your body gradually reacts to less stimulus by becoming weaker and more prone to damage. Furthermore, regular activity, even that which occurs in the bedroom, is often the source of the confidence that comes from feeling physically competent. It might be difficult to break the pattern of a more sedentary lifestyle that results from losing that connection. Even if this may seem shocking, wait until you learn how having sex or not having it directly impacts mental clarity and the capacity to recall even the most basic information. The following realization might permanently alter your perspective on brain health. Step 3. Your brain is damaged. Although the majority of people do not link sex to brain health, there is a strong correlation, particularly as we age. Dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins are among the substances released by the brain during sexual activity. These are not only feel-good hormones, they are essential for elevating mood, lowering stress levels, and boosting cognitive and memory abilities. It's more crucial than ever for elders to maintain their mental acuity, and frequent intimacy may support those brain processes organically. However, the brain loses out on these vital neurological advantages when sex is eliminated from your life. Increased anxiety, despair, and even early cognitive deterioration may result from this over time. Your brain remains robust and sensitive when neural pathways are kept engaged and active via emotional closeness and physical connection. Your brain needs stimulation to remain healthy, just like a muscle, and intimacy is among the most fun and natural ways to train your mind. Ignoring this aspect of your life steals the spark that gives you a sense of completeness, and it has an effect on more than just your physical health. Your capacity to feel emotionally linked and really seen by your spouse is at stake, which goes beyond memory and mood. And it may have serious repercussions, as you will soon discover. 4. The end of emotional closeness. Emotional connection becomes increasingly more important as we age. However, that connection may subtly deteriorate in the absence of physical contact. Sex is a profound display of vulnerability, trust, and love that goes beyond simple physical contact. Couples often start to feel more like roommates than love partners as that bond weakens. The spark that once made you feel recognized, desired, and passionately loved gradually fades as conversations become regular and warmth becomes uncommon. Even in a committed partnership, the lack of intimacy causes loneliness for many seniors. Furthermore, loneliness is more than just a feeling. It has been connected to actual health problems such as immune system weakness, elevated blood pressure, and depression. Small actions like touch, eye contact, and proximity foster emotional connection. And one of the most effective ways to maintain that feeling of intimacy is via sex. Giving it up entails giving up one of your relationship's most powerful emotional pillars. However, many people are unaware of what is lacking until the gap has established itself. However, what if re-establishing intimacy not only helped you emotionally re-establish a connection but also resulted in deeper, richer, and more restful sleep than you've had in years? You could be surprised by the next reality, which might alter your bedtime routine. 5. Sleep turns into a battle. It is more difficult to get good sleep as we get older. However, few individuals are aware of the intimate relationship between sexual activity and sleep. Your body naturally creates prolactin, a hormone that encourages relaxation and facilitates sleep after sexual release. Simultaneously, the cuddle hormone, oxytocin, is produced, which lowers tension and anxiety, two of the main causes of insomnia. Medication is often used to address sleep problems in older persons, but there may be a far more organic and pleasurable alternative. These relaxing chemical processes vanish along with intimacy, leaving the body stiff and the mind hyperactive. Losing connection and physical proximity may be a missing component if you've been having trouble falling asleep, waking up tired, or tossing and turning. Better sleep isn't the only goal here. Energy, mood, memory, and general health are all enhanced by restorative sleep. To put it another way, skipping out on sex might cause far more disruption than your nightly routine. However, the true problem is more profound. Something far more intimate, such as your self-esteem, confidence, and conviction that you're still attractive and lively, disappears along with physical closeness. What follows might completely change your self-perception. **6. Decline in confidence and self-esteem. **The way we see ourselves might be negatively impacted by aging. However, the loss of physical closeness has a more subtle effect on confidence than anything else. It's simple to start feeling invisible when you're not being touched, wanted, or having sex. Many seniors eventually come to feel that their prime is over and that being beautiful, desirable, or sexually active is reserved for the young. However, such belief is untrue. Strong emotional cues from physical closeness validate your value, energy, and capacity for love-giving and receiving. In its absence, self-doubt arises. Not because you don't care, but because you no longer feel appealing. You can begin to avoid mirrors, distance yourself from your lover, or cease showing affection entirely. No matter how mild or rare, intimacy serves as a reminder that you are still lovely, alive, and able to form meaningful connections. Regaining this aspect of yourself often boosts confidence in ways that affect your posture, smile, and attitude, among other aspects of your life. However, the effects of lost closeness are far more profound than those of poor self-esteem. It may subtly impair your body's defensive mechanisms. You may be surprised by what follows. 7. The weakening of your immune system. When it comes to increasing immunity, most people think of hand washing, exercise, or supplements. However, few people are aware of the important impact sex plays in maintaining a robust immune system, particularly as you age. Higher levels of immunoglobulin IgA, a vital antibody that helps protect your body from infections, colds, and other ailments, have been associated with regular sexual activity. Additionally, it lowers inflammation, improves hormone balance, and enhances cellular health in general. Without the neurological and hormonal reactions that intimacy causes, your body may find it more difficult to fight off common illnesses and heal swiftly if your immune system becomes weak. This decrease occurs gradually over time and often goes unnoticed. One day, you start getting colds more often than normal or experience unexplained fatigue. Restoring a healthy sexual life not only improves your mood but also fortifies your body's defenses from the inside out. It's among the most delightful ways that nature may prevent disease. However, if you believe that the immune system is the only organ affected by missed closeness, you should reconsider. Another consequence that affects you deeply and quietly is related to how your body and mind respond to stress. This is something you should hear. 8. As we age, stress and worry rise. Stress may have a variety of causes, but the toll it takes on the body and mind only becomes worse. Sexual closeness is one of the best natural stress relievers, yet many people are unaware of this. Dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin are a potent trio of chemicals released by the body during intercourse that actively lower anxiety, soothe the nervous system, and establish a long-lasting emotional equilibrium. As an innate mood stabilizer, these hormones reduce stress and foster a feeling of security and closeness. This innate coping strategy diminishes as closeness does. Stress increases, sleep quality deteriorates, and little concerns eventually become too much to handle. Anxiety may manifest as restlessness, irritation, or even physical symptoms like headaches and tense muscles if there is no physical outlet. Not only does the lack of intimacy cause a void in your relationship, but it also takes away one of your body's most potent resources for emotional and mental fortitude. However, what if the effects of a diminishing sexual life go much beyond, subtly impairing your ability to concentrate, remember, and sharpen your brain? What you discover next could fundamentally alter your perspective on mental acuity and aging. 9. Partnerships get more brittle. The long-term effects on your relationship are among the most subtle effects of lost closeness. Emotional distance often occurs when a bodily relationship deteriorates. Once close, warm, and affectionate couples may gradually drift apart, not because they no longer love one another, but rather because they cease showing it in the ways that are most meaningful. There is more to sexual intimacy than just physical contact. It's a language of emotional connection, trust, and vulnerability. Even the most solid relationships may start to seem bland or aloof without it. Silence or regularity might take the place of the fun, laughing, and happy moments that formerly existed. Even if there is still love, communication may weaken and both partners may start to feel ignored or unwanted. No matter how many decades have gone by, intimacy is what keeps partnerships strong and emotionally satisfying. Giving up that connection changes the dynamics of your relationship as a whole, not just your physical health. Much while it seems serious, there is still another factor to take into account, something much more intimate. What if your own body starts to lose all sexual function? The hardest thing is usually what comes next. 10. The body forgets. Make use of it or lose it. The human body is made to react to usage, as awkward as it may be to acknowledge. Sexual function deteriorates when it isn't used, just way muscles do when we stop exercising. Men may have extended arousal periods or a decline in erectile function as a result. It may cause pain, a decrease in natural suppleness, and increased vaginal dryness in women. Slowly and softly, these changes take place until one day physical connection becomes more difficult than desired. This starts a vicious cycle wherein pain inspires avoidance, which in turn triggers greater deterioration. Here's what your body is telling you, though: maintaining sexual activity helps maintain function. It maintains healthy tissues, blood flow, and nervous system reactivity. The body may be reminded of its capabilities via even mild kinds of closeness. At first, ignoring this desire can seem innocuous, but it can eventually make it more harder to recover comfort and confidence. However, even if your body adjusts, your experience is still greatly influenced by your mentality. What if you're mistaken about the most significant sexual organ? Everything is revealed by the following truth. Actions you can take from now on regaining intimacy is completely feasible, regardless of age or duration, and it can start right now. Communication is the first and most crucial stage. Discuss frankly with your spouse your feelings, your missed relationships, and your goals for your future together. Genuine reconnection is based on vulnerability and honesty. Do not be afraid to see your physician if you are experiencing physical difficulties. Common problems such as erectile dysfunction, poor libido, or dryness have easy and efficient remedies. Begin modestly. Gentle tenderness, hand-holding, snuggling, and physical contact all count. Deeper intimacy and fresh closeness are often the results of these brief moments of connection. Don't undervalue the importance of self-connection if you're single. Keeping your body and mind in balance may be achieved by investigating your personal requirements and comfort. Remain inquisitive and open-minded. Experiment. Be patient while approaching intimacy, and above all, allow yourself to enjoy. You have just been waiting for the proper time to rekindle your passion. You haven't aged out of it. Now is the time. Only the courage to start again is necessary for reconnect. Perfection is not. One touch, one exchange of words, 1 minute spent together. Rewritten, the truth about intimacy and aging. Conclusion: it's common to see aging as a gradual surrender, a silent loss of interests, relationships, and emotions. According to society, romance has an end date, closeness is reserved for the young, and sex is no longer required or even acceptable beyond a certain age. However, this couldn't be farther from the reality. The truth is that closeness is not only feasible but also necessary as one ages. Trying to relive your 20s is not the goal.